What did Tamika wear on your wedding?
Oh, she's gonna smack you if you get this one wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
Red and black
Lingerie.
lingerie.
Oh, I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying now.
We weren't asking that. You can file for your citizenship 90 days before the 5-year anniversary of you getting your green card. You're not living in the United States. And then they're going to turn you around. May even hold you in jail. So, they have
you'll get me out, right?
Well, I will get you out, I promise you.
Yep, I'm cooking up curry chicken right now and burger rice. We just supposed to know burger rice.
Of course. It's going to be cooking with bread and squeeze sugar.
Maybe we'll come down to Jacksonville, Florida. She can cook for us, and we can help her with all her legal problems right over the table.
If you want to get your immigration questions answered on Skype, or if you want to find out if you're ready for your bona fide marriage interview with our all-new Bratified Marriage segment, just call 1-800-529-5465 and ask for one of our producers. That's 1-800-529-5465.
All right, welcome everybody.
Welcome.
Oh, your thing is on backwards there. You stick it out.
Don't worry about
earpiece.
Don't worry about
Your
that.
Don't
worry about that.
Your earpiece.
Yeah. You know,
Squeeze waltzes in.
The Brad and Squeeze Show, folks. This is what this is all about. Let me officially introduce the show.
Let me just.
We're on 93.5 and we're on multiple social media platforms. And the other voice that you're hearing is Brad Bernstein's voice.
And can I just paint a picture for everybody out there?
No, you always like to do that. Rather than just go right into it, we're going to paint
Let me just paint.
Yeah.
Let me paint a second here.
Let's paint.
So I'm sitting here going through the show. I'm here ready to go.
By the way, 2 seconds. Remember this moment that you're about to do. Just remember it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. So I am sitting here.
Yes, you are.
At 8:15 in the morning, ready to go. Mm-hmm. Ready to go, preparing
for a show that starts at
9:03.
Yeah.
Mr. Squeeze literally waltzes in, okay, does a Michael Jackson moonwalk straight across the studio.
That's Squeeze
at
the broadcast.
9:02.
Right.
And I look at him, I go, are you seriously just walking in for this show at 9:02?
And I said to
this
him,
really happened?
Yes.
Yet he said yes. So there it is. So welcome.
Let me just put it this way, folks.
Welcome.
This morning was one of those crazy mornings. Always get here on time. Always. Since the show started, I've never been late. Mm-hmm. All right? You can't get late. You can't be late on a TV show.
No.
So if you get to the door and the sign says on air,
right,
you're off air.
That is true. That is true. The sign did not say on air yet.
Yeah.
The sign did not say on air yet.
You know, but anyway, on a serious note, though, want to say sympathies and condolences reaches out to the family and the people who passed on yesterday here in downtown Manhattan. It's just mind blowing, and. I mean, I stepped out of my apartment and I couldn't even walk.
You saw it from your apartment.
Yes.
Were you there? Because Squeeze looks over.
I didn't actually see it happening.
Right, but you heard about it.
Yes, I heard about it.
Squeeze is about your apartment. Just so I'll give everybody, is about 3 blocks. But
3 blocks away.
3 blocks away, but you could look down the West Side Highway and see everything that was going on.
Yes,
because you're right on the West Side Highway there.
I could see everything. As a matter of fact, there's still a lot of. the entire West Side Highway is pretty much blocked off in that area.
Yeah. When I took my dogs out, because everyone loves the dogs.
Right.
When I took my dogs out for a walk, the police had a lot of the streets blocked off. So there's a ton of traffic down here.
So it was really a terror attack here in downtown Manhattan yesterday.
And
8
this
people died and quite a few injured.
And by the way, this is what we know so far about the terror attack.
What are we doing now? What do we know about? Which is less than a quarter of a mile from where we are, folks.
Correct. The attacker was identified as Seyfulo Sapov, 29 years old. He drove a rental truck down a bike path.
Home Depot truck.
And a Home Depot truck. And if you know the bike path on the West Side Highway, which we know very well.
You walk the dogs and I walk other people
correct,
there.
Right. And you go across the West Side Highway, there's a highway, and then next to the highway is a path for runners, a path for bicyclists, and a path for people to stroll their baby strollers or whatever else. It's a beautiful park that goes along.
And a nice movie theater that's next to it.
A nice movie theater.
Next to it.
And then you walk into Battery Park City. And what he did was he went off the highway, went right onto the pedestrian bike path and walk path that goes along
from Houston all the way down to Chambers.
Right. That goes along the highway between the water, where they built a beautiful park, and he rammed over pedestrians, bicyclists. He sideswiped a school bus. At least at this point, 8 people are killed.
I think there are 8 males.
They were. I saw there were 5 tourists from Argentina, 1 from Belgium. I'm not sure where the other 2 came from. There are more than 20 people injured in hospitals as we speak. Saipov came from Uzbekistan in 2010. He had a green card.
Came from Pakistan?
Uzbekistan. Right. He had a green card. He was a lawful permanent resident of the United States. He lived in Paterson, New Jersey, and Tampa, Florida. And correct, he did.
No, Paterson, New Jersey, and
Tampa, Florida. That's where he lived. He did rent the Home Depot truck in New Jersey. And after he smashed into the school bus, which was about 3 blocks from where your apartment is, he ran out of the vehicle
with 2 guns.
With paint guns.
Yeah. 1 paint gun and a BB gun. From
1 paint gun and a pellet gun.
Pellet gun, right.
And then was a officer who was right there on the scene, a New York City police officer who was right there on the scene. And literally, they're calling him now, and I think his name was John. So they're calling him Johnny on the spot, this officer. I don't know if his name is John, but that's what they've been calling him in the newspapers. Right. Shot the guy dead within seconds of him jumping out of the car, or maybe it could have been worse. Maybe he had knives on him. I don't really know. Right. 6 people were pronounced dead at the scene. 2 others died later in the hospital. Dozens and dozens of people were transferred, including school children, from the school bus. And the incident occurred right in front of Stuyvesant High School, which is a magnet school here in New York City where the best and brightest students from New York City go. And they were just being let out when this all happened.
Around 3 p.m.,
It is the largest terrorist attack in New York City since September 11th. And apparently Saipov has pledged allegiance in a written note that was found to ISIS. And New York City did not cancel the Halloween parade last night, and I did attend. I went to look for a few minutes.
Did you wear your pink outfit?
I did not wear anything.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yes, I was naked. I was naked at the Halloween parade. No, I was not naked at the Halloween parade. And by the way, I had a discussion with Jill off the air.
Yeah.
And my question to Jill was
our producer, by the way.
Our producer, and she found the answer for me because I didn't know the answer.
Right.
I said, "Is this kind of societal? Why is the shooter in Las Vegas who shot 59 people, how come he's never been labeled a terrorist?" And I said to Jill, I said, "Is it because he's white? Is it because it was a domestic? Is it because he was born in the United States of America?" And Jill said to me, "Very good question." And she found the answer out for us about 10 minutes before.
And what is the answer?
You would think, I was being very, what's the word? I was being very cynical, saying it's because he's white, it's because it's domestic, it's because he was born in America, it's much easier to label minorities, it's much easier to label, people of color, people who were born in another country. But the real answer, at least according to law, is despite the unprecedented, Jill, I'm reading this verbatim, which is what Jill wrote me, despite the unprecedented number of casualties in the Las Vegas attack, the incident does not qualify as terrorism under federal law. And federal law defines terrorism as the unlawful use of force and violence against person or property to intimidate or coerce a government, the civilian population, or any segment thereof in furtherance, this is the key thing, in furtherance of political or social objectives. So here, in this particular case, this man pledged allegiance to ISIS, a foreign terrorist organization who's bent on destructing the United States of America. So therefore, it is in furtherance of a political or social objective. The Las Vegas shooter, nobody knows why he did this yet. He never left behind, maybe he was a crazy man. Maybe he was delusional. Maybe he was a terrorist, but they can't label it yet because they don't know the reason why he did it. Thus the difference.
Very interesting.
I thought that was pretty interesting. I didn't know the answer to that. And Jill, who's not an attorney, did the legal research for me.
Which is good.
Which is very good, Jill.
Yes. It's good when you have true individuals who...
Here's something I never...
all the answers.
Here's something I never knew before.
What?
I didn't see this in the news because I was busy at the Halloween parade naked. I was not really naked. I was just didn't have a costume on.
Yes, you were.
Okay, Paul Manafort, Squeeze. The man who is at the center so far of the Trump investigation into ties to Russia has now discovered that he has 3 different U.S. passports. He traveled to China on one of his quote-unquote passports that may or may not be legitimate passports. We don't know. And he has 3 U.S. passports with 3 different passport numbers on it. Who gave him? I can tell you as an immigration attorney, and I probably can tell you that everybody out there knows you can't have more than 1 U.S. passport with more than 1 number on it.
How is that possible?
Okay? That is called fraud. By the way, that is years and years in jail just doing that. If you Squeeze, okay, or anybody as a foreigner came in with a fake passport, because 2 of them are fake, you go to jail for years. You're going to jail for years. And he traveled to Mexico on this fake passport. He traveled to China and Ecuador, and maybe he was even traveling under fake names. Squeeze. So over the and by the way, over the year, Manafort.
This is very interesting.
Oh wow, this fell out of my thing, so I can't hear Jill right now, but it's okay.
By the way, you remember that moment earlier?
Yeah.
Where I told you to remember that moment?
Yes.
Okay, I see how very prepared you were that your earpiece fell out.
My earpiece fell out.
Mine is still in.
Yes.
And my microphone still works.
Yes.
So you can't hear what Jill is telling me right now.
Correct.
Jill, you want to hear what she's saying about you?
Tell him to go get prepared better.
Yes.
Right.
He said get in here not at 8:15 in the morning, but at 6 a.m. in the morning.
So
Squeeze gets in here at 9:02 and he is prepared.
Right.
Jill is like
so
SMFH Squeeze.
All right. So what else do we want to say about Manafort? He traveled all over the world using these different passports.
You want to serious note, Brad?
It's very weird what's going on there. More than weird. It is sinister,
Brad,
Squeeze.
Brad,
sinister news of the day.
Brad.
What?
Manafort is screwed.
He is screwed.
All right, so let's leave him where he is, screwed.
And you want to know what? And by the way,
let's move to something else.
Yeah.
New York City Council moves to cut off immigration agents from all city resources. Can you handle that one for me?
Okay.
Because Manafort is screwed.
He's screwed.
He's going up the
Forget
creek.
it.
All right?
All right.
Without a paddle. All right? And other things. All right? So he's screwed.
Yeah, I didn't.
Good for him.
Yeah, I didn't see this, but apparently the New York City Council on Monday moved a step closer to blocking federal agents from using any city resources to enforce the immigration laws. The Council's Committee on Immigration approved a bill that would prevent police from partnering with federal agents to track down illegal immigrants. The measure would also bar the use of property and information obtained by municipal agencies in furtherance of federal immigration enforcement. But that's just in furtherance of being a sanctuary city. I think that's just adding what they're already doing. I believe the city is not participating anyway, and I guess it's more of a political statement than anything else. Squeeze, we got a lot of calls here. We'll get to the rest of the news at 12.
Let's get to the calls. Once again, folks, this is the Brad and Squeeze Show. My name is David Squeeze Anarchy of the Link Up Media Group of companies. And we also have Brad Bernstein of the law offices of Spar and Bernstein. We present each and every single weekday live at 9 and live at noon what is called the Brad and Squeeze Show. Powered, of course, and sponsored by USA Credit Repair, the key to beautiful credit. We're going to move to the lines via 93.5 WVIP FM and our VX here. Okay, where you can call 1-800-529-5465 as Brad puts his earpiece back in.
I'm in now.
1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. Manafort will be saying that very soon.
Yes, he's saying it also.
529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. Let's move to the lines.
You know what Manafort's 2 words were the same words that I said. Oh, shoot. I'm in.
And yesterday I said, don't shoot.
Don't shoot.
I'm black.
I'm black. Right. All right, so let's go to Misty, who's been waiting all the way from Miami, Florida.
Misty, thank you so much for calling from Miami, Florida. And yes, the law offices of Smart Bernstein can handle cases in Miami, Florida. So go ahead with your question for Brad Bernstein, our attorney.
Good morning.
Good morning.
At one.
Yes, I'm out of status and I want to get married. So I'd like to know if I can use my passport, which is still valid, to get a marriage license.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
All right.
And thank you so much for choosing. And by the way, you can actually use the law office of Smart Bernstein for that.
Correct.
A lot of people think that they can do everything themselves.
They can't.
And, we get a lot of calls on this show where people screw it up. No matter how simple it seems on the forms and everything, there are little things that we don't know. That's the reason why I do not go to a mechanic. I do not do it myself if I get sick. All right? I don't operate on myself. I don't tend to myself. I go to a doctor. One who is specific in the area that I'm sick in, although I haven't been sick in about 6.5, 7 years.
All right, Keisha.
Keisha, thank you for calling the Brad and Squeeze Show at 1-800-LAW-LINK. How are you? Keisha.
And they're in grade 10 and 11.
Keisha.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning,
Good
Keisha.
morning.
You're calling. Keisha's calling all the way from Jamaica, Squeeze.
From Jamaica?
Yes, I am.
All right, so walk away from the noise in the background, Keisha, and we just want to speak with you so we can focus on that, all right?
We're hearing the breeze from the beach, so you got to walk away from the beach.
Sorry, let me get out the noise.
So many stereotypes about Jamaica.
You got to walk away from the beach, get out of the ocean.
Sorry. Okay.
All right.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
What I want to good morning, Brad.
Good morning.
What I want to ask you, as a Jamaican, if you get accepted to go to a university in the U.S., what are the requirements? What do you need to produce?
You need to produce two things. One, you got to get an I-20 from the school. The I-20 from the school says that, one, you're able to pay for all your room, board, tuition without taking a job. So either it's your own personal money or it's money from somebody who's giving an affidavit of support. Then when you get the I-20, you have to be able to go to the U.S. Embassy and show your I-20, show your acceptance to the school, and what you got to do to get past the U.S. Embassy is prove that when you're done studying, you're going back to Jamaica. A lot of times, what people get the I-20s, but they go into the U.S. Embassy, and the U.S. Embassy says, we don't believe you're ever leaving. So make sure that you have ties to Jamaica. So step one is I-20. Step two is go to the I-20 and the school. You deal with the school with that. And then step two is walk into the embassy with ties to Jamaica, so you can show.
Sorry, a break a while ago.
Okay, walk into the U.S. Embassy. Hello. Walk into the. Hello. Walk into the. Hello. Okay, so you're gonna. Hello.
No, sorry, you chipped out. I didn't hear.
You chipped out, Brad.
I'm chipped out. I was kidding around. I kept saying hello. Okay, you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? Okay, so you're gonna walk into. So you're gonna. How many times am I going to repeat that? So you're going to walk into the U.S. Embassy. You're going to walk into the U.S. Embassy with ties, which show that you have ties to Jamaica, jobs, you're going back to, property, family, that type of thing. But we can help you. Hold on 1 second, okay?
All right, once again, folks.
I chipped out, Squeeze.
You chip out.
I chip out.
Do not go Jamaican.
Do not
This is an international
Jamaican.
program.
Yes.
All right, and when you speak Jamaican, it doesn't come out very well.
It's like when you start with Yiddish. I'm like, don't go there, right?
No.
You don't. Squeeze shouldn't be starting with Yiddish. I shouldn't be starting with patois.
Yeah.
All right, Marie.
The Jew and the Jamaican. Anyway.
Marie. Yeah, the Jamaican. Yes.
Good morning.
Marie,
how are you?
Good. I'm fine, thank you.
What's happening?
Thanks for answering. Okay, I am here in the United States out of status.
Right.
Now, my daughter came here when she was 11 years old, filed by her dad. He was a citizen at the time. She lived with him in Florida for over a year, and then she came and lived with me in New York. Now she's 22. She wants to file for me, but she went ahead and do it all by herself, and they waived her the fee. She got an I-600 form.
Okay, 1 second. How did you come to the United States?
I came here by a plane.
On a visa on your name?
On a visa, yes.
Okay, so you got all the wrong forms. Okay, it's not an I-600 form. Okay,
Pardon me?
It's not an I-600. An I-600 is for adoptions. So
she went in and filed. I think it's an NRI, some form she got.
Okay. All right. Two things.
One.
All
right. Let me say this. She got a form. She went in and because her father did not get her paperwork done to say that she's a citizen.
Got it. Okay. All right. I understand. Yeah. So what you're first and by the way, Jill in the control room has to lower the volume because we're hearing everything through the control room. I don't know why it's so loud there. But what you're talking about is a certificate of citizenship that she has derived her citizenship. You see, I know what they're talking about, Squeeze. Who are you talking to on the phone, Squeeze? Squeeze is having a conversation on the phone.
I'm not having a conversation.
Oh, okay. I thought you just started to have a conversation with somebody.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I'm looking for questions for the social media guru.
Got it. Thank you. All right. So you're talking about a certificate of citizenship, and what you're saying is that she derived her citizenship through her father, because she was living in the legal and physical custody of the father. She filed the N-600. And it's the N-600 that she filed for the certificate of citizenship, because you were talking about I-600, so I'm like, oh, that's adoption.
No, sorry, I said I'm wrong.
N-600. And what happened? Did they give her citizenship?
No, what happened? She did it from February of this year, and they send her a form to say that she's a citizen, and they waive her fee, and that they will send her citizenship. She hasn't gotten it yet.
1 second. Two things. One is she requested a fee waiver, which is fine. Okay, and you can request a fee waiver. They did not send her a letter back saying you're a citizen and we're gonna send it to you. What they said is we received your citizenship application, we're reviewing it, we'll let you know whether or not you're a citizen of the United States. Now, if she is a citizen, she's a citizen. You don't need to wait on immigration. If she derived her citizenship through her dad, you don't need to wait on immigration to prove her citizenship. She could file for you today. She's a citizen as of the day she was living with her father, and she had a green card, and she was living with her father, and the father was a citizen. So you don't need to wait on immigration to file her adjustment. So we can help right now, because they're going to take a long time to give her the certificate of citizenship.
Yeah. Okay, I know, but she's kind of difficult to understand. So she can go ahead and file for me, but she has no paper or anything to prove that she is.
Okay, so that's why you need a lawyer.
I was about to say that from the beginning.
If she goes and files for you now, she's denied. Okay? That's why you need a lawyer. And we have to explain to immigration that she's an automatic citizen whether or not she's waiting on her certificate of citizenship or not. That's something you need a lawyer to do, or just wait on her certificate of citizenship. One or the other, but I would suggest you bring her in if she wants to help you. Hold on.
Yeah, but then how long does that take? It takes a long time, Brad, to get that?
To get her certificate of citizenship could take a year, maybe longer.
Or maybe longer. Okay, thank you. So I'd have to come in.
Yes, hold on.
All right, thank you. Yes.
All right, hold the line. Once again, folks, the Brad and Squeeze Show here, hosted by Bradford H. Bernstein, Esquire, and yours truly, David Squeeze Adams.
Bradford H. Bernstein, Esquire.
Yes.
We're going to start calling this the Bradford H. Bernstein, Esquire, and Squeeze Show.
This is too much. As a matter of fact,
the David Squeeze Anarchy Senior Show.
As a matter of fact,
because you're senior.
I was like, you know what? If this show went, this show could go viral much quicker. If it was called a Jew and a Jamaican.
Jamaican?
The Jamaican
show. Tune into the Jamaican show where,
like you say, Brad Squeeze, like, all right, no problem.
Yeah, but
Jamaican.
I'm
like, let's check that out.
All right, from now on, tune into the Jamaican show live at 9. You're listening to the Jamaican show live at 9 and 12. You know what's so funny is we went out, I don't want to say his name, but we went out, Squeeze and I went out a couple weeks ago with a very famous celebrity.
Yeah.
And I show up and I meet the guy for I met him before.
Right.
But it was like a long time ago. And I meet the guy and he goes, so Squeeze, you brought your Jamaican with you.
Yep, that's a funny guy though. Hilarious.
So I said, that's how I'm known as Squeeze's Jamaican. He goes, in Jamaica, that's how you know it.
Yep, definitely so. 1-800-529-5465. Once again, call us with your questions on immigration. We are, once again, the Brad and Squeeze Show, powered by, of course, the law offices of Spawn Bernstein and the Link Up Media Group. The law offices of Spawn Bernstein is a full-service law firm in Manhattan at 225 Broadway, downtown on the 5th floor, open 6 days a week. And ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to take more questions at 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAW-LINK.
So what we're going to do, Squeeze, is we'll take one more call. We have Paulette in Queens. Okay, and after Paulette in Queens, we sent out our social media guru out onto the street to ask questions about personal injury. We'll see if anybody knows anything on the street. What do you think the odds are that anyone knows anything on the street about personal injury?
I think we should get a teleprompter to tell you, because you're directing the show now, and that's Jill's job. So you're telling the people what is going to come up. You're supposed to just introduce it. You can't be explaining everything, because you...
Why are you telling all my secrets, Squeeze? Paulette, how are you?
Come on.
Brad. Morning,
you have a competent person already.
Yes.
Her name is Jill.
Paulette, how are you?
I'm okay, Brad. How you doing?
Good. What's up?
All right, I have a question for you. I applied for my citizenship in February of this year. I got a letter back to go in for the test, but it's on the 9th floor on the 26th further plaza. Is that where I'm supposed to go? Because I heard that's deportation.
I don't remember if that's where you went. Let me ask you a question. Do you have any fear of being deported? You have a green card. You're going for your citizenship. Have you ever been arrested for any reason?
Many years ago, but it has all been have disposition letter. You took care of everything before.
Okay, and you had and it ended in a conviction?
No conviction.
No conviction. You know what? If I'm your lawyer from the past, let me just. I'm not sure who I'm speaking with. You know how many Paulettes I know from Queens?
I know.
Multiple Paulettes from Queens I know. And so what I would suggest you do is make an appointment to come see me, and let's just make sure that what you're doing is the right thing. I'm just concerned that anyone who has an arrest and they're going on citizenship should always, even if I was your lawyer 10 years ago and I said 10 years ago it was good, life is different now with this orange pumpkin spice dude in the White House.
Right,
okay?
So what is on the 9th floor?
9th floor is immigration. So hold on one second though, okay? I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're coming to arrest you or anything. So don't lose sleep, okay? So hold on one second.
1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be going to a special segment right here, which is powered by, of course, USA Credit Repair. Just going to tell you a little bit about USA Credit Repair. Once again, if you're out there right now and your credit score is below 700, now is the time to actually get in to get your credit repaired absolutely free. The next 30 people will get their credit work done absolutely free. Why? Because it's now 9:30 on the Live at 9 show. So if you call this number right now, if you have late payments, collections, charge-off, bankruptcies, all these negative items, we'll do a complete analysis and consultation with you and work on your credit absolutely free to, of course, dispute those relative negative items to get them off of your credit to get your score higher and giving you even a better debt-to-income ratio by telling you how to, of course, reduce your debt. So call this number right now, and the next 30 people will get their credit work done absolutely free. The number is 1-800-872-7177. That's 1-800-USA-7177. Easily remembered, you can link via WeFixBadCredit.com. That's 1-800-872-7177. Call now, and the next 30 people will get their credit work done absolutely free. All compliments of the Brad and Squeeze Show.
Very good, Squeeze. Excellent.
Yeah, I forgot I just got to do page 21 myself.
Excellent job. We were going to do it after the pits.
Nah, because
the person in the street.
It's always lambasted.
It's not lambasted. We were going to do it after the person in the street, but you wanted to do it beforehand and jump in there.
27 seconds.
That's fine.
27
All
seconds.
Right. So we sent Kimberly, our social media guru, out onto the street to ask people about their personal injury questions. Yeah. Not their personal injury questions. If they knew anything, if they got into an accident, in a car accident, whether or not they knew what to do, whether they knew what the law was, how long it takes to file a lawsuit, what's the statute of limitations. Let's see if anybody on the street, this is on the Brooklyn Bridge, we moved it around a little bit. I said to Kimberly, I said, you can't keep doing it right in front of our building. Go somewhere else. I said, go to Brooklyn.
You realize you're telling everybody in the segment that's coming up, so they don't need to watch it.
They're going to watch. I said, go to Brooklyn. So she made it about halfway across the Brooklyn Bridge, and she got enough people to answer
You normally
questions.
would if you go on the Brooklyn
What?
Bridge. You normally would because there's so many people.
So many people. All right, so let's watch and see what happened.
Check it out.
This is Kim Moore from the Brad and Squeeze Show, and today we are on the Brooklyn Bridge asking New Yorkers questions about personal injury. Let's take a look at how they did. How long does a person have to file a personal injury lawsuit in New York City?
Can you say again, please?
I believe that they have 5 years.
How long?
Yeah.
One more time.
How long?
I would say a person has around 5 years to file a personal complaint lawsuit against someone in New York.
I would say a person has 6 years.
I would say up to 2 years.
Do you know why?
No.
Months, just months.
Just any number of months?
1 month.
There isn't 1 month to file a lawsuit against somebody for personal injuries. In fact, in the New York State, you have 3 years to file an action for personal injuries against that person.
If you're in traffic and the vehicle in front of you suddenly stops and you hit it, who's at fault?
I'm at fault if the vehicle in front stops and I hit it.
Why?
I was too close, or I wasn't paying attention.
I think I am at fault.
Do you know why?
Well, I believe our state law in California is that I would be likely at fault. I mean, it depends on other issues, but it probably means I'm following too close.
I don't know, and I never see nothing.
It might be my fault. Yeah, because maybe I was too close.
I would say that I was at fault because I would have gone into the back of the car.
If you don't know what happens when somebody short stops you, New York State Vehicle and Traffic Law requires all vehicles to maintain safe distances between each other. That means if the car in front of you short stops and you hit that person, you would likely be liable absent exceptional circumstances.
If you're in a motor vehicle accident and there's no damage to the vehicle, but you have headaches, is that something you're allowed to be compensated for?
I'm in that situation right now.
Headaches, I believe, would be covered.
Do you know why?
Well, it's probably connected to neurological damage or injury.
I would say they can receive compensation if their only symptom is headaches because maybe they bumped their head or their brain shifted.
I would say yes if they could prove it was a result of the collision. So.
No.
Do you know why?
You know my answer.
Many people in New York State think they can recover for any personal injury due to their motor vehicle accident. However, because of strict New York State threshold laws, you must suffer what's called a serious injury. Because New York has a serious injury threshold, you must show competent medical evidence that shows that you actually suffered a serious injury. A simple headache would not suffice.
If there's a motor vehicle collision that results in no damage to either vehicle, can a person still receive compensation for injury sustained?
That's kind of a hard question, but I would say yes.
I would say they could still sue for injuries sustained even if there's no damage done to the vehicle because they could still have bodily injuries.
I know people do lie and say, oh, their back hurts, even if the car is not damaged. If a report is filed, I would say they have received mental or physical damage.
I absolutely believe you can. I don't think it has anything to do with the vehicle. I think it has to do with your body parts.
You could try your luck maybe, but I don't think it'll go anywhere.
Yeah, I think you are in California.
Just because there's no damage to either motor vehicle in your collision doesn't mean that you can't recover for personal injuries.
If a person is caused to take time off work because they were in a car accident, do they get paid for that time off work? And if they do, who pays for it?
If he didn't have to pay for nothing because like this is terrible something like is not normal. So I think his boss, you have to pay this.
Yes, you can be compensated for that time off, and the person who caused the motor vehicle accident would be the one to pay, or that person's insurance.
If there was a suit, the person responsible for the accident might pay, but I don't. Yeah, that would be the only thing I could think of.
Yes, I am going to get paid for it.
If you were forced to lose time from work as a result of your motor vehicle accident, you have nothing to worry about. You are covered up to $2,000 in lost wages per month.
What is the minimum legal bodily injury insurance that a motor vehicle driver has to have in New York City?
I do not know what the minimum driver insurance is in New York City.
The minimum amount, I would say 10,000.
Care to take a wild guess? It's a dollar figure. Wild guess it for me.
$5 maybe?
A lot of people don't know the answer to this question, but in the New York State, you're required to have a minimum of $25,000 in bodily injury coverage if you register your vehicle in the New York State. If you didn't know the answer to any of these questions, you have nothing to worry about. Here at Spar & Bernstein, we do the worrying for you. Contact the law offices of Spar & Bernstein. We're here for you.
Prior successful results do not guarantee similar outcome.
Okay, hopefully you love that segment right there.
I love the
people. We got to remind you, Brad, and everybody else.
Yes.
We do have a radio show also on 93.5 WVIP FM. Many of you do not try to actually watch the show while driving. I know you have access to social media at David Squeezaniki's page. Okay, my apology.
So nobody heard this. It was probably one of the most brilliant things you've ever said in your life.
And guess what? Everybody heard. They heard through your mic.
Okay,
right?
I hope so. All right. So yes, what David Squeezaniki said.
Yeah, why don't you speak for me, Brad?
What David Squeezaniki said is that I am a very powerful, handsome man, and everyone should listen to me. Thank you very much.
Why is it my video went dead?
I don't know. 1-800-529-54. I don't know, Squeeze. 1-800-529-5465. It's all about content media. Our video is fine. We're going to get your videos up right for 12 o'clock. 1-800-529.
Live video has ended.
5465. Let's go to Tamika in Atlanta. Tamika.
Hello.
Tamika, how you doing? How are you?
I'm doing okay. Two things. When you're doing the I-864,
right.
If your co-sponsor is not living in your household, there are a couple references to who the sponsors are. It makes reference to petitioning sponsor, first sponsor, second sponsor. Are those three different persons, or is the petitioning sponsor the same person as the first sponsor?
Yes, it's
the first co-sponsor, I mean.
Yes, those are all, the petitioner and the first sponsor is the same. Okay? So whoever the petitioner...
there can only be two co-sponsors on any affidavit.
Correct, but this is how you get 3 or 4 people in. Okay? It's not co-sponsors, it's sponsoring households. That's the key thing to remember. So in other words, each household can be a sponsor. You're allowed to have 2 households provide affidavits of support. So one household that must provide an affidavit of support is the petitioner. So the petitioner does the I-864. Anybody that lives in the same house with the petitioner, could be a spouse, could be a mother, could be a father, it could be a adult son or daughter, can also add their income onto the first person, the petitioner's affidavit of support, and they add their income on the I-864A. Now, after you have added up
on the same,
correct,
on that one same one,
correct.
They don't do a separate one.
Correct. That's for the people in the household. Now you add up everybody in the household, still not enough money. Now you do a second affidavit of support. That's a new I-864. And you go to Uncle Jim, and you say, Uncle Jim, you know, Aunt Sally is sponsoring me, or, you know, Mama's sponsoring me, or whoever it is. She doesn't have enough money on her affidavit of support, and her, you know, my stepdad doesn't have enough, and sis doesn't have enough, and they all live in that house. So now I'm going to go to Aunt Sally, who's going to do a second affidavit of support. Now, Aunt Sally is married to Uncle Sam. Not real Uncle Sam, but let's Sammy. Okay? So Aunt Sally does an I-864, and her husband, who's your uncle, does the I-864A because they live in the same household together.
Got it?
Okay.
All right.
But Uncle Sam would do his I-864
I-864A on anti-Samis, same I-864.
Correct.
Okay.
You got it? I have now told you everything that is in this brain about that form. I know nothing else about the form beyond what I've just told. I do know more, but I've told you just about everything you need to know. All right.
This is not a question, though. What? This is, yesterday, a lady called you, and she was asking about her criminal record in Jamaica. She said it expired. It was done a year ago if she needed to do a second one, and you told her you don't need to do your criminal record again once you've done it before.
Correct.
Now, I was calling yesterday to tell you that that's not so. It happened to me, and it has happened to persons I know who lives in Jamaica. Once your criminal record, once your police record is more than 3 months,
those are two different questions. Okay. She asked me a question. I have a disposition. And is the disposition still valid? Yes, the disposition never, it says what it says, which is you were arrested in 2010 and you were convicted in 2011. That doesn't change no matter how many times you go back and get that disposition. Now, if they're asking for a police record, they want up-to-date records. They want to make sure that you haven't been arrested since the last time you requested a police record. Those are, maybe I misunderstood the question, but I was referring to her disposition, her actual disposition, not the police records. Oh, and I disconnected her, so I apologize. My mistake. And now we're on with Robert from Mexico. My apologies.
Before we get to you, Robert, in less than 10 seconds, let me explain what Brad is pretty much saying. When you go down to the police department and you get that piece of paper, there's an expiration date on the piece of paper, not the expiration date on your criminal record. All right, so that's basically what they're talking about. They're saying the piece of paper that
for the police records.
It has an expiration date
this
on it.
Police record is not because if you get a police record in 2015, you say here I have my police record. It's clear from but it says from 2015. But who knows what happened between 2015 and 2018?
Precisely. So it's the piece of paper that expires, not your police record per se.
All right.
Once again, the Brad and Squeeze Show. My name is David Squeezanik here with Bradford H.
Let's
Bernstein.
go to
Let's go to Robert
in Mexico.
Thank you so much for calling all the way from Mexico.
Hello, good morning. Best to you both, and of course to attorney there, Brad, and my name is Roberto Javier Salazar.
Okay. You got us on speaker?
Yes, I'm on my laptop calling from Skype. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes.
All right, no problem.
Go ahead.
Actually, I arrived in 1974 when I was a young kid. I was riding by my grandmother, and I grew up in El Monte, California. And I actually in 1985, in 86, I got my amnesty. I was a good kid, but actually in Hollywood, I was charged by $20 for marijuana on Gas Street, and it was a felony. And actually 2 times when I was a young kid, and they actually charged me. So in 1985, I served 3 months in jail and form of probation satisfactorily. And in
what year were you convicted of marijuana possession? 1995, you said?
85, when I was a younger kid.
But you told me you got amnesty, so that was before you got your green card.
Yeah, right at almost the same time. In 86, I got
because the amnesty was 1986. Okay, so what's the problem? Why are you in Mexico now? What happened?
I self-deported myself in 2008, even before Obama.
Why did you self-deport yourself?
Because I didn't want to be deported. I lived in Hollywood. I moved to Las Vegas, and it happens to be that I didn't want to be deported. And
why did you think you were going to be deported? All I heard was that you had a marijuana conviction in 1985. You thought you were going to get deported on that?
It was just a mistake on myself, my own. I wanted to do everything correctly. I had a relative from Canada that told me to come to Canada, and I actually self-deported.
Robert, when did you leave the country?
I left on March 14th via bus from Las Vegas to Mexico City. Then I went to Canada.
March 14th, what year?
On 2008.
2008. Was your mom or dad a U.S. citizen before you were 18 years old?
No, I grew up with no mom and dad, only my grandmother. She passed away in 2000, but I always was a good kid. I was a police floater in the 70s for Almighty Police, 3 years, never in gangs. but I guess I did.
What was he found guilty of besides the? 1 second, Robert. 1 second.
I didn't hear that part.
I didn't hear that part, but I just want to make sure I understand what you're saying. You came to the United States as a young child. You were raised by another family member. You got the amnesty in 1986. In 1985, you were found guilty of a small possession of marijuana. They gave you the amnesty anyway. And in 2008, nothing happened ever since. And in 2008, someone told you better leave the country because you're going to get deported?
No.
That makes no sense to me.
I never received a letter of deportation, but I paid an attorney to get my records from INS or my immigration records.
But why did you leave the country? It wasn't because of that one marijuana conviction. There's more to your story. Can't be.
No, that was the reason. I had this the felony, and because I thought I could never fix my residency unless I would go out and come back.
Okay.
Now my son can sponsor me back. I already got my expungement. I got my expungement completed. He's been associated in LA. And I've been checking for an attorney, and my son wants to sponsor me back home.
He can't sponsor
I want to do the vacate. I need to do the vacate.
Exactly. Exactly. Your son can't sponsor you, right? Well, I don't understand why you left. That's still mind-boggling.
That's the part I'm trying to figure
It's mind-boggling to me, but okay, we'll figure that one out.
You're now. One
second.
I made a mistake.
Okay. Let's just finish.
He acknowledges.
Okay. Let me just finish so we can help. You self-deported in 2008. You didn't self-deport. What you did was you just left the United States and abandoned your permanent residence. There was no.
I have records, the past tickets, and all that.
Okay, big deal. Big deal. Your record is a marijuana conviction in 2000 that was not getting you deported in 1985. Mm-hmm. Okay, now
actually two felonies, two marijuana, but they were not really sales. The same cop that was after me. I have
okay. Now it's time to listen. Now it's time to listen. I got it. All right, he has multiple arrests. He got scared. He left. You never left under an order of deportation. Nobody ever put you in deportation. All you did was I decided to pick up and go to Mexico. And when you picked up and you went to Mexico, you abandoned your permanent residence. So we can do one of two things. Okay, one is you can try to vacate your conviction in California and let your son file for you, because your son can't file for you if you have a marijuana conviction. But you told me you now have 2 or 3 of them. It's very hard to vacate 2 or 3. Two.
No, sir,
it's very hard to vacate 2.
Got them expunged.
Let me finish. Expungement is not vacating. Expungement means you were found guilty. It's still a guilty plea for immigration. What I would think that we may want to try, although it's a long shot, but I think it's a better chance than trying to vacate 2 convictions in California while you're in Mexico, is to do something called an SB1 visa. An SB1 visa is a visa to say, I have abandoned my permanent residence, but I didn't mean to. I still have ties to the United States, my children. I was living there as a young child, and I abandoned it because of error or something beyond my control. That's a better way to do it. We walk you back into the embassy and beg them for your green card back. That's what I would do. Hold on.
Robert.
You need to hold on.
I wanted to interrupt both you and Brad.
Yeah.
Okay, because this is something that the law firm needs to actually handle.
I'm screaming, by the way, now.
And you spent a lot of time there.
Yeah.
So, and we have
That's why I said we got more people to go.
So what I wanted to say, and this is the reason why sometimes I will interrupt Mr. Interrupter. All right. This is something that the law officer, Spawn Bernstein, can handle. And we're wasting time actually on the call itself because we spent like 10 minutes on that call.
Well, you had to get through it.
I understand that, but I think it should be put on hold. We take the call and we can help it.
Okay, we're now wasting more time. Let's go to more calls.
Are you trying to cut me off, dude?
Yes, because we have a lot of calls to go to.
No. When you're wrong, you're wrong.
Keep talking.
Thank you so much. Now that we have done that, 1-800-529-5465. Let's get to the calls.
All right. So let's go to...
Mr. guy over here. Any day now. You just like to be lambasted, but you like to know it. Let's go to the 25.
Camden.
It's me.
Hello.
Camden from South Camden.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm doing good. Hi, Brad and
How are you?
Squeeze. How are you doing
Good,
today?
Good. I'm trying to upset Brad. Go ahead.
Oh, and the rest of the audience. Tell them good morning for me.
Thank you.
Anyway, my question is, I have a sister. I'm a U.S. citizen, and I filed for my mom she have a green card, and okay. Anyway, my sister, I want to, do something for her so that she's married. She have 2 kids in Jamaica, and but anyway, I want to do something for her so that she can come up here and join the family. I know if I go ahead and start file for her, it's going to take a lump sum of years.
It is a lump sum, correct?
Yeah, but she have a postgraduate grad degree, and her husband have a PhD. So,
why can't they find a job? It would be a lot faster.
If they can find a job, it will be a lot faster?
Yeah, job sponsorship. It could be 12, 18 months for a job sponsorship. That's the fastest way to do it, especially if they're PhD. Hopefully they can find a job sponsor. Literally, a green card is 18 months. That's what they should be thinking about. That's what they should be looking at. And they definitely would need a consultation with us so we can put them in the right direction. Maybe they have extraordinary ability. I don't know what they have PhDs in, because if they have extraordinary ability, they can sponsor themselves. In the meantime, file for them. Because just because you file for them, put it away. Just because you file for them doesn't mean that you can't file for somebody else in the future. Or not only that you can't file for someone else in the future, I actually said that wrong, that they can't find a faster way to get a green card. Got it?
Oh, yes.
All right, hold on.
All right.
All right, you want to go to social media check-in?
No.
No.
They only have one question.
Okay, so, fine.
1-800-529-5465. Let's get to another call.
Will from Pembroke.
Pembroke? Is that Pembroke Pines?
Pembroke Pines, yes.
Okay. What's your question for Brad?
All right. Good morning,
rapid fire
Good morning.
Yeah.
All right. I was coming back from Jamaica last week, and I was stopped and put in another room for a weed charge, but the case was dismissed. You know why they did that?
Yeah, because they didn't know the case was dismissed when they put you in the bad boy room. Yeah. All that came up was you have an arrest, so they had to double check it. The best thing to do is in the future, travel with your disposition, you show it to them, it'll go a lot faster.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, so right? They won't bother me with the weed. The weed,
you didn't listen.
I mean,
you listen to what Brad said.
Hold on, we gotta.
You need your disposition when you're traveling. You don't know what that is, they'll tell you off here. Yeah. You're right. Let's go to another call right here.
Anika?
Hi, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Okay, my friend is in Jamaica. Her grandmother filed for her. However, she has a 2-year-old daughter, but she's not on the filing. What can she do?
Your friend filed for who?
No, my friend grandmother filed for her, but she's still in Jamaica. She didn't leave yet.
And she had a child that was born after. You have to contact the National Visa Center with the case number and a copy of the child's birth certificate and ask the National Visa Center to add that child on, and then the two of them will process for green cards together.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to one more call. Maybe we'll squeeze in a few social media questions popping up now.
Yes.
How are you?
Hello.
Yes.
Kimberly.
Hello.
Kimberly.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, this is Kimberly. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. So I have a question about my brother. So my mother filed for my brother before he turned 18 years old. His I-130 was approved while he was still in Jamaica. So what happened was a couple months passed. He got the first letter down there from NVC. I guess it's the welcome letter. And after that, there was no other letter that got to my brother.
There's not a welcome letter. It's a letter saying, please choose who you are. You going to process this yourself? You want an attorney, someone else? Who is the correspondence going to? And who sponsored your brother?
My mother.
And when did she file for him?
It was in 2009.
Okay, so something is amiss because your brother should be here with a green card already. So hold on one second. I don't know what happened. We could sit here for 30 minutes and I still won't know without contacting the National Visa Center. Hold on. But you've obviously screwed up or someone screwed up somewhere. So hold on one second.
1-800-529-5465. Live at 9, live at noon. The Brad and Squeeze Show. You want to move to another one?
Let's see what's on social media.
Okay, let's kick to those questions on social media with the social media guru, Kim Moore. You saw her earlier on the streets.
Hello!
On social media platforms. 93.5.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Kim. What's your questions? You got 2 minutes.
Okay. Let's see. Bell would like to know, is it okay to travel within your 6 months from state to state?
Yes.
Wyclef, hopefully not Wyclef Jean, but Wyclef would like to know if your spouse filed an I-130 followed by an I-485, then you file an I-360, do you need a new I-485?
Why can't that be Wyclef Jean? I would hope it was.
Because he did Foreign Hill.
The answer is that there was an adjustment filed, and then obviously whoever was applying for the green card now is an abused spouse. The I-360 is the VAWA application. As long as your adjustment hasn't been denied, you can just file the I-360. When you go for your adjustment interview, bring the receipt of the I-360, ask the immigration officer to keep the adjustment open. So hopefully you can save that filing fee.
And do you handle VAWA cases?
Of course I do. Of course I do, Wyclef Jean.
Do we need oxygen to breathe?
Yes. We also handle accident cases and personal injury if you watch Moshe's segment.
Do you handle construction accidents?
Yes, we do.
Okay. All right.
Yes, we do. And I was very happy, Kim, to see that you moved locations and you went to the Brooklyn Bridge to ask your questions.
500 feet away.
I did. It was quite the trek.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Kim. We'll see you at 12. Squeeze?
Yeah.
That's another
Thank you
show.
so much.
It's another show. I don't know
if
you have anything to add.
Absolutely, yes. Check us out at noon, like you said before. And the show, once again, is called The Brad and Squeeze Show, powered by, of course, USA Credit Repair. Remember to check them out, wefixbadcredit.com. But remember, the law office's number happens to be 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Your legal issues, your legal concerns, make sure you reach out to our firm that's downtown here in Manhattan. Once again, 1-800-529-5465. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Remember to spread the word. What did Tamika wear on your wedding?
Oh, she's gonna smack you if you get this one wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
Red and black
lingerie.
Lingerie.
Oh, I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying. I get what he's saying now.
We weren't asking that. You can file for your citizenship 90 days before the 5-year anniversary of you getting your green card. You're not living in the United States, and then they're going to turn you around. May even hold you in jail. So they have
you'll get me out, right?
Well, I will get you out. I promise you.
Yep, I'm cooking up curry chicken right now and burger rice. We just supposed to know burger rice.
Of course, it's going to be cooking with Brad and Squeeze.
Maybe we'll come down to Jacksonville, Florida. She can cook for us, and we can help. We can help her with all her legal problems right over the table.
If you want to get your immigration questions answered on Skype, or if you want to find out if you're ready for your bona fide marriage interview with our all-new Bradified Marriage segment, just call 1-800-529-5465 and ask for one of our producers. That's 1-800-529-5465.
Live at noon, the Brad and Squeeze Show. We are back and we're ready to get rolling with, of course, answering your immigration questions right here at 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAWLING. Mr. B.
How are you, sir?
What happened to your face? What happened to your head?
Between 10 and 12, I went to a lady who cut my hair.
That's nice.
So what do you think? Handsome? Where did you go? Because you did a change. It's not what you were wearing in the morning.
Yeah, I know.
Why are you moving over closer to me?
Because.
What are you doing?
Camera positioning. Seeing that you have monopolized the main area of the studios, seeing that you are the only one centered into the
I think I'd rather move
middle
over
screen.
Now.
It's, you know.
I know. He's just getting very close to me, this guy Squeeze.
Hey, listen.
You're in my space.
Listen, so what?
Why are you in my space? Can you move over?
I am moving over.
It's very uncomfortable here.
No, look, nothing is centered on the screen. But
so in any event, why'd you change your clothes?
I didn't change my clothes.
It looks changed.
No. I have the same clothes on.
All right.
That I had on this morning.
Doesn't seem it. Welcome, everybody. We have 12 open lines right now, so if you do call, you will get on the radio to have your immigration questions asked and answered. 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-SQUEEZE. It's 1-800-529-SQUEEZE, 5465, as Squeeze's equipment is falling all over the place because he's moving. And in any event, Squeeze, since I last saw you, they came out with a little more information about the terrorist.
Right.
who ran over 8 people yesterday. 6 of them were foreigners, 5 from Argentina, 1 from Belgium, 2 from New Jersey, apparently.
Right.
And he had left a note in his Home Depot truck that he rented that he is giving his allegiance to ISIS. The police, he is not dead, he is alive, he is in police custody. And the police are saying that he is not very remorseful. He is actually very happy for what he did. So that's the update from
What will happen to this guy once he's convicted? What do you think is going to happen?
And he was also an Uber driver.
What's going to happen to him?
He could, I guess, face the death penalty, I guess, right? I think that's the penalty for terrorism is death penalty, I believe.
You think?
I believe so. I'm just an immigration attorney.
If Jill can look into that, that would be great.
All right. So I know a lot more about
law in reference to immigration.
In reference to immigration.
I'm not hearing Jill. So
let's see what else is happening here while we're waiting for people to call at 1-800-529-5465. There's a detained 10-year-old girl. Remember we talked about this the other day with cerebral palsy.
Right.
And the girl was being taken by ambulance. She entered illegally as a 3-month-old. She was taken by ambulance because she was sick to the hospital. ICE patrol agents stopped the ambulance, discovered she was illegal, and then followed her to the hospital and then waited for her to get out of her surgery to put her in deportation. So instead of going home to her parents after this poor girl who came here when she was 3 months old and had some sort of medical condition with her cerebral palsy is now in immigration detention. One of the most disgusting stories you will ever hear in your life. We were actually wanted to get her advocates on our show. We were not able to because we weren't able to get together with them, and now this story has mushroomed out of control, and they now have put their hands with the ACLU, who is threatened to sue immigration if she is not released by 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. And you know,
what do you think is going to happen?
I think they're going to release her.
You think they will?
Yes. And her medical condition, it says here, her medical condition requires constant attention, and she's completely dependent on her mother. So we'll see what happens by tomorrow with that. Here is.
It would be nice to know that they do have some exceptions for situations like these.
They should.
However, it seems like it's just very
right. They should. And by the way, you know, the way to resolve it, you know, between me and you, is I don't know if...
And about 10,000 people.
And about 10,000 people watching. I don't know enough about this girl, but if she is not living with one of her biological parents, Sige. Even if the mother's illegal, she can still go in to family court, get legal guardianship of this child, get a family court judge to say it's not in this child's best interest to be reunited with the father, who I don't know if he's in Mexico or not, or wherever the father may be.
Right.
And then that child can apply for a green card on her own. That's assuming that they're separated. I don't know if they are or not. I don't know enough about the family, but that's the first thing that pops into my mind. The other thing that can happen is if a congressman or a senator actually looks into this or sees this story and wants to have a heartwarming story, they can make a private bill for this girl as well. So we'll see what happens with that.
I like the bill Jill in there.
There's a picture of her there.
Yeah.
Here is some news squeeze on, this is shocking. You want to hear some shocking news?
Okay.
All right, the shocking news of the day. New York City public transit ranks #1 in the nation. A study released by the urban planning company Arcadis on Sunday, I don't know who they are, they ranked the city as #1 in sustainability for general transit system. I would say that 90% of our employees who are late every day blaming the subways would have something to say about that.
I'm quite sure they would.
Right. New York and 22 other cities were judged on nearly 24 elements, Squeeze. 24. Why are you dropping things?
You know what? At this stage, I'm okay.
I don't know what the 24 were, but apparently New York won.
New York won.
New York won. Not the television show.
Not the television.
And also, the MetroCard is saying bye-bye in 2020. No more MetroCard. Do you know about that?
No.
They are going to have a new replacement for the MetroCard where you're going to just basically tap your phone. You don't have a phone, you can't get on the subway.
Hey, I kind of like the whole phone idea.
Right? You can't get on the subway without a phone these days now. What else is happening? Anthony Bourdain, you know who that guy is?
Oh, that's the guy from CNN.
The guy from CNN. He goes around the world to parts unknown.
Parts unknown.
That's the name of his show. He is banned from Azerbaijan.
Why?
Because Azerbaijan is having a fight with Armenia. There's a lot of refugees, and you're not allowed to go in from Armenia to Azerbaijan. And of course, he doesn't care because he's Anthony Bourdain. He doesn't care if he breaks any laws, and he just does it. Why shouldn't he? He's on television. You can do whatever you want if you're on television. But apparently you can't. So now he has been banned for life from Azerbaijan. And
Dustin Hoffman is sexually being... he said...
Dustin Hoffman is sexually what?
Dustin Hoffman sexually harassed me when I was 17.
Who did Dustin Hoffman allegedly sexually harass when he was 17?
It says the author who slapped away the star's butt, grabs and laughed off his vulva.
Who are you talking about? You can't just read an article on a show.
I'm talking about Dustin Hoffman. And something that just came out. I'm trying to figure out the name. They didn't put the name yet.
All right. While you're figuring that out, the last thing I want to tell you, Squeeze, the last thing I want to tell you is, you know who this woman, Teresa Giudice, Giudice, am I pronouncing it right? From the Real Housewives, Giudice.
Yeah.
From the Real Housewives of New Jersey, got into a fight with Sofia Vergara. You know, beautiful woman from Colombia. Said that Sophia's not nice to her, and said if you're an immigrant, you should be nice to Americans. That was her comment. The woman from the Housewives of New Jersey. It's quite ironic, however, that her husband is in jail now for tax fraud. He's an Italian citizen and is going to be deported. But meanwhile, she is calling out Sofia Vergara as an immigrant who should be nicer. There we have it, Squeeze. Dustin Hoffman, who is he
I don't know
sexually
if you want to
harassed?
figure it out.
I can't read it. I can't read a news article on a live show. 1-800-529-5465. You want to go to immigration questions?
That's what I thought we should have done from the beginning.
Okay.
The news was very interesting. Thank you.
Well, that was the news. That's all the news that's fit to print. Manuela.
Yes, thank you so much.
Manuela.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
What is your question? You're calling from Westchester.
Yes, my question, I have my son. I make my son and my 4 kids coming. So my question is, my son, he can apply for his wife back home, West Africa.
Okay, so your son is what? A green card holder? A citizen? What is your son?
A green card holder.
Your son is a green card holder, and he would like to apply for his wife back. In what country is she living?
West Africa.
All right, so the wife's in West Africa. Your son's here with the green card. Do they have children together?
Yes, they have one 9 years old, but he's here.
He's here, so it's just the wife is missing. How did your son get here? You sponsored him?
Yes.
All right, so he should turn around. He got here now. Now, I assume when you sponsored him, he was single, and now he is married to his wife after he got here. Is that correct?
No. They're not married. Only have the kids together.
Okay, so he has to then go back to Africa and marry the woman. And after he goes back and marries her, file an I-130 visa petition for her. He should do that immediately. The quicker he's married, the quicker he files the I-130, the quicker this woman is here, it's not this woman, it's his fiance, his girlfriend, eventually his wife. She'll get here in about 1.5 years, but that's what he's got to do. If he doesn't do it, never coming.
Okay, how he can do that? Because I don't know.
How do you do it? You buy a plane ticket, you fly to West Africa, you get married, and you file. But go get married first. There's nothing to do until the man gets married. I'm glad I made her laugh.
She's like cracking the hell up.
I'm cracking this woman up. All right. By the way, Manuela, by the way, I could make you laugh all day if you want. Just keep watching.
You're known for doing that. You know that, right?
I have the question.
Yeah.
I have another question. My brother is here in this country 20 years ago.
Right.
But he has situation in the child support. Now he cannot do the passport because he has that situation.
How much does he owe in child support? How much does he owe?
It's I don't know. I think it's more than $3,000.
Yeah, he must owe a substantial amount of money in child support not to get the passport. So he would need to come see us, and we have family court lawyers here. Yeah. We also have immigration lawyers. He'd start with the family court lawyers, see how we can fix his past due balances, and then start to work on trying to get his passport renewed. So hold on 1 second, okay? All right, Squeeze.
Once again, folks, this is the Brad and Squeeze Show. Make sure that you tune in each and every single weekday live at 9 and live at noon. Of course, the show is brought to you and created by the law offices of Bernstein and the Link Up Media Group of companies. And we're here taking your questions at 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. Must remind you about our personal injury department. And, I call it personal injury and construction injury, but it's one and the same, all right? But because I know that they're good at construction cases, I always like to bring that up. So all the construction workers out there, if you're not one, spread it to them. Make sure you choose Bernstein when you get hurt. Let's move to another call at 1-800-LAW-LINK. 93.5 FM listeners, thank you so much for tuning in.
Karine.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, it's Karen. Excuse me.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, it's Karine.
How are you
Good afternoon.
Yes, Karine.
All right. What's going on?
Oh, I have a question. My question is, I submitted my documents for 90 days before for the removal condition of my green card, but I still haven't received a date for biometrics.
Did you get a receipt back that extending your green card?
Yes.
Okay, when was this?
This was in August.
Okay, you still haven't... All right, so it's only been 2 months already. You got the receipt back, so we know that they definitely received your application. Why don't you wait till the end of the year? If you still don't hear anything by the end of the year, then give us a call, okay?
Okay, thanks. Because I was thinking my biometrics would be like a few weeks after.
No. Nope. That takes a lot longer. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Once again, folks, 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to another immigration question with the attorney Bradford H. Bernstein. I love saying that.
Prince of Bel Air, Brooklyn.
Prince of the world.
Hey, Brad, Squeeze. What's up?
That's the name that's up here, the Prince of Bel Air. Is that you? Will Smith calling right from Beverly Hills. Squeeze.
Yep.
Yes.
Hey,
what's happening, Prince of Bel Air?
Okay, one question.
Yeah.
I did my biometrics on the 15th of March for my citizenship, and I don't hear anything after.
You did your biometrics on the 15th of March for citizenship, and you have not heard... It's been 6 months already? You haven't heard anything?
No.
Is there anything in your background that would lead us to believe that you're not going to become a citizen?
Nothing. I'm clean as clean could be.
Clean as clean could be. You should be getting an interview, soon. You did your biometrics. It's been 6-7 months. They're taking... Believe it or not, 9 to 10 months to schedule interviews. So if you filed in March, you shouldn't expect to get your interview probably till January, maybe even February, maybe even extended out almost 11 or 12 months. It's supposed to be 6 months by regulation. Years ago in the 1990s when Bill Clinton was president, they were taking like a year and a half, and then eventually the Immigration Service got sued by everybody who was waiting. And eventually, they put more immigration officers on it, and it went back to the 6 months that it's supposed to be by regulation. Probably that's what's going to happen eventually. But if you don't get your interview by January, give me a call.
No problem. Now I feel much better. Keep up the good work, guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Say hi to your son, Jaden.
All right. 1-800-529-5465.
Is that Will Smith's son, Jaden?
Jaden, yeah, that's the
son. That's the son, right?
That's the son.
Yeah. All right. See, I know my popular culture, Squeeze.
Your pop culture.
Pop culture. Yeah. Popular.
Yeah.
Pop culture, short for popular culture.
Yeah. Keep it pop culture.
Pop culture.
Yeah.
1-800.
Like pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
Yeah.
The Great Pumpkin Halloween. I couldn't say it. I was having problems saying it. It was like a
Pumpkin.
tongue. It was like a tongue twister for me.
Pumpkin. Yeah.
Costume contest. Right. People are still talking about it. One of the greatest segments we ever did.
I think you actually should have brought the cameras to the Halloween parade.
Yes.
I believe that would have been more interesting.
That would have been more interesting. Yes.
More than the dog costume parade.
Well, you know, everybody has their opinions on how to produce the show.
I'm just saying. Nobody listens to Squeeze.
Nobody
Who cares
listens
anyway?
to Squeeze. Vanessa.
1-800-LAWLINK, Vanessa. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Good afternoon.
I filed for my mom, and yesterday she went and did the interview, right? But they told her everything is good on her end, but she has to send me a form to waive the. She had a little criminal case that was like 22 years ago, before I was born, and they expunged it. But no, they said I'm supposed to do form I-601. Do I need a lawyer to do that?
Your mom filed for you?
No, I'm filing for my mom. I'm in the United States and she's in Jamaica.
And how long ago was her case?
The expunge?
No, when was she convicted?
22 years ago.
Okay. So, the general rule, if you're a child filing for a parent, you can't get a waiver unless the conviction's more than 15 years. So they're allowing her the waiver because it's more than 15 years. The answer is yes. If you're filing for waivers for your mom and you didn't even know that she needed a waiver, you need a lawyer.
Okay, so I have to do, because they said I'm supposed to do the waiver.
That's right. You file the waiver here, but because it's more than 15 years old, and assuming your mom has good moral character for the last 22 years, it should be approved. But, you know, you don't screw around with this stuff. This is the one chance for your mom to get a green card. All right?
Okay.
Hold on one second. All right. Squeeze.
Yeah.
Squeeze.
I'm just annoyed.
What are you annoyed about?
Nothing.
You're upset today. I see it on your face.
1-800-529-5465.
I see it on your face.
1-800-LAWLINK. 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to another call right here. It's 23 minutes after the hour. It's the Live at Noon show, edition of the Brad and Squeeze.
See, usually you're a good poker player, Squeeze.
Usually, I'm becoming like you.
Yeah, usually it's me that you
way
know.
Too close to me. You're way too close to me right now.
You are. By the way, you are too close to me. You're in my broadcasting space. You should be like at least an arm's length away.
Maybe if you look at the screen, you'll see that.
Yeah, but you see, if you look at the screen, you moved over, so now we're not even. You don't even see the full New York City background. It's cut out because you moved over.
That's what I'm saying, but you're in the center of the New York City background.
This is where they told me to sit.
We're both supposed to be aligned.
Well, that we're not aligned, but you can't align yourself in the middle of a show, can you? We should align ourselves beforehand. Maybe if we come in the studio 5 minutes before the show starts, we can align ourselves properly instead of cutting out half of
you
New
can't help
York
yourself.
City.
You know, you could just move over. You know that? It's
right?
so simple. You could just move over.
No, what's simple is that we actually come and align ourselves before the show starts.
They asked me to move over? That's why I'm so close to you? You think I really want to be close to you?
Nope.
Okay.
Diane.
Hello there.
Diane.
Hello.
Hi.
Diane.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Brad.
Hi, Diane.
How are you?
I'm not bad. I called you yesterday about the question I heard the lady asking. Let me clear that up.
Okay.
What I really want to ask you is that I've sent in, because I have my lawyer there with you, but I've sent in my stuff to USCIS. The criminal record was valid at that time. I realized it expired the 16th of...
Oh, this is still the same question with the police. If you're talking about you have to submit a police report, it's only good for 6 months, these police reports. If you're talking about, if you're talking about a disposition, if I go to the court and they say, show me a disposition of what happened on this specific case. If you got arrested in 2010 and the case was resolved one way or the other in 2011, whether you get the piece of paper in 2015, 2016, 2017, it's going to say the same exact thing. You were arrested in 2010 and in 2011, whatever happened, happened. That's a disposition, and maybe I misunderstood your question. Then there is a police...
I need to find out from you, Brad, is that the fact that the record went in while it was valid, now it's expired and the case is not process not come through as yet. Will that pose a problem for me?
What went in, when, and how? I don't understand. Can you speak into the phone instead of the speaker?
No.
You can't do that. Okay.
I can hear her louder.
What was her question?
Repeat that.
Okay. My lawyer, which is Jenny there, I sent in my documents to USCIS.
Right. She's asking live questions on the radio. Jenny's her lawyer, by the way. Why we're calling and spending all this time, I don't know, but let's continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to know if, like, the record is now expired, if that would pose a problem for me.
As long as it was submitted within a timely manner. In other words, the National Visa Center, the U.S. Embassy, Immigration, whoever we were submitting it to, says submit the police report that is valid within these 6-month period, and you did it, you're fine. It's like the medical examinations, okay? You know, when we file adjustment applications, it says submit a medical exam. Your medical exam has to be valid within 6 months of filing it.
Right.
That doesn't mean, wow, now I'm falling apart here.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean, look at this, I'm falling apart here.
Maybe if you come in the studio a little bit earlier.
Maybe I should, right? Then I can
put your
buckle this
equipment
into
together.
put my
right
equipment
back
together.
at you, man.
Yeah, as long as it was submitted timely, that's really all that matters.
Okay.
All right, that works for you?
Yes, it is, Brad. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Are you at ease? I want you to be at ease. In all seriousness.
Yes, I am.
Okay, Diane. Be well.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. I just want, in all seriousness, I joke around, but I want to make sure people are at ease and they understand. So it's like a medical exam. You know, people say, well, the medical exam is good for 6 months. As long as you file the adjustment with the medical within that 6-month period, you're fine. Even if it takes them another 9 months to approve your case, you filed the medical within that 6-month time that you were supposed to. Then you're okay.
Right.
Then you're okay.
1-800-529-5465, 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, folks, the Brad and Squeeze Show. We're answering immigration questions. We must remind you that we're also a full-service law firm here at 225 Broadway in New York City, and you can reach us at the same number that you called to get your questions answered for free on air, which is 1-800-529-5465. Brad mentioned the Family Law Department earlier. Yes, they do have that, so divorce, child adoption, child support, all these issues, you may want to reach out to them for that.
And also, we have a criminal defense department.
Absolutely.
And I think we have a criminal defense man on the street.
We do?
We do.
All right.
Where we are asking people about their rights, whether they know what their rights are, they don't know what their rights are. Want to go take a look at it?
Sure, let's take a look.
Let's take a look.
All right.
We're here today in New York City asking people questions about their rights. Let's find out how much they know. Can your Facebook or social media posts be used against you in a court of law?
Yes, it can be used against you in a court of law.
Do you know why?
Because of privacy.
Okay.
Pretty sure it can.
Your social media posts can be used against you in the court of law.
Do you know why?
No, I really don't.
I'm aware that once they are on that social media site, they are owned by that social media site.
Absolutely. Be smart, people. Assume that anything you put on your social media can absolutely be used against you.
Everything you write, Snapchat, Facebook, text, email, all of that can be used against you later on, even if deleted.
Are you obligated to take a breathalyzer when the police pulls you over?
Yes.
No.
I am not sure of what I would need to do.
It depends on what you're stopping me for. If I am driving and drinking, yes. If he smells alcohol on my breath, yes.
If I say no, then they would automatically think I'm guilty of drinking, which would probably be the case.
You're not obligated to take any test offered by the police department.
The walk-in stand test, the portable breathalyzer, at the scene of a DWI, you're not obligated to take any of those tests.
They can use that evidence against you later on in court.
Whenever you're pulled over by the police, the first thing you should do is call an attorney.
What do you do if police stops you for DWI?
You will get out of the vehicle and they will just make sure everything
is great, and if everything's not great, then you will go down to the station and they'll arrest you.
You need to cooperate with the police because they are in charge.
The very first thing you should do is ask to speak to an attorney. And remember, people, you do not have to submit to these tests.
Don't tell them you had 2 drinks at a party, but you're not intoxicated. Don't answer any questions. Don't take any tests. Provide the police with the paperwork they requested and immediately ask for an attorney.
Do the police have to read your Miranda rights to you when they arrest you?
I would say they would have to because you're not you're being arrested, but you're not in a crime. You're not doing a crime. So I would say yes.
I believe that the police have the right to read you your Miranda rights in that situation, just to let you know what's going on and what the priorities are and just the whole situation that you're in.
Miranda rights are all about TV and movies. There's actually no such thing as Miranda rights. The police only have to give you your Miranda warnings if they're going to question you.
If they are not read for whatever reason, that doesn't mean you should go run and say or incriminate yourself. Just assume that anytime you're dealing with the police and you're in that situation, anything you say will be used against you.
If you're in jail, is the Department of Corrections allowed to record your phone conversations?
If you are in jail, what did you say? No, I do not believe that they are allowed to record your phone conversations.
They absolutely can and will listen to your conversations.
Not only are they allowed, but they do it on every phone call.
Use your heads. You're in government custody. Do not speak on the phone, and definitely, absolutely not say anything that can incriminate you.
The only people they're not allowed to record is a conversation with your attorney. So be careful about what you say on the phone from Rikers Island or any correctional facility. Every one of those phone calls are being recorded and sent directly to the district attorney's office.
If you suspect or know that there's a warrant out for your arrest, what should you do?
I believe that you just... I'm stuck.
If I suspect there's a warrant out for me, I would like to know why.
I honestly have no idea.
I'm not guilty until proven guilty.
I don't know. I've never had a warrant out for my arrest, but I guess contact an attorney.
There's no guessing. Call an attorney. That is a smart thing to do.
Absolutely. That's the first thing you should do. Contact an attorney. Let them handle it.
Better yet, don't just call any attorney. Call the attorneys at Spar and Bernstein. We really care about clients, the community, and protecting your rights.
Prior successful results do not guarantee similar outcome.
Put on a happy face.
I got on a happy face.
Put on a happy face. You want me to start singing old crooner songs to you, Squeeze?
No. You're too close for that.
Yeah, I am too close for that.
Way too close for that. So once again, folks, this is the Brad and Squeeze Show. Remember, you can check us out. And, of course, that's 9 a.m. and 12 noon. All right? We're going to skip USA Credit today.
Why?
Because I don't have a crew that's ready to man the phone lines appropriately. So, and respectively.
USA Credit will be back live tomorrow at 9 a.m. ready to go. In the meantime, let's go to social media check-in, Squeeze.
Social media check-in.
There she is.
Brought to you by the
There
online
she
magazine.
is. You have this big scarf around you. You're starting to look like Squeeze's look with the scarf around you.
That's what we decided to do. Switch it up a little.
It's a chilly day.
It's a chilly day. All right, so what do we got on social media? Rapid fire.
Okay.
Let's go.
Here we go. Shanice on Facebook would like to know if your husband is a green card holder and he files for you, about how long does the process usually take?
1.5 to 2 years.
Queen of My Castle would like to know if your husband has a green card, can you still get a work permit?
No, you will get a green card at some point unless your husband's a citizen. You only get work permits when you file adjustments, not when you file I-130s.
Marcus Garvey would like to know how long does a supervisor take to review an N-400 application?
Marcus Garvey.
Marcus Garvey. Yes,
yeah.
Famous.
He led rebellion.
We have a...
He tuned in.
Yes, famous
Jamaican heroes.
Famous in history in Jamaica. We've had Will Smith on today, the Prince of Bel Air.
Wycliffe Jean.
We had Wycliffe Jean on this morning. But Marcus Garvey, a supervisor, renews citizenship? I don't understand the question. To review it? To review it.
To review an N-400,
Oh, to review.
yeah.
Okay, so if you have a supervisor reviewing your N-400, What it really is they're debating whether to make you a citizen or put you in deportation. And really it's not, it goes through a supervisor, but really it goes to the litigation unit. And the litigation unit decides whether to put you in deportation or give it back to immigration to make a decision on your citizenship. That could take anywhere from 6 months on the short term to 18 to 24 months on the long term. But quite frankly, if you're waiting more than 9-10 months, you should be coming to see a lawyer, filing a mandamus, a Administrative Procedures Act claim. You should be doing something in federal court to get the case moving.
Absolutely.
Okay, Marcus Garvey, give us a call. Carrie Ann would like to know, her friend got married to a U.S. citizen, but he's not working. So they told her that a family member can do an affidavit of support. Is that true?
True.
Okay. And what is the cost to file that paperwork?
$1,765. Whether you got a job or not, that's what you got to pay.
That's what you got to pay.
Okay.
No payment.
1,760. I keep saying 16. I keep giving the wrong number. I don't know why I have 17. It's 1760. Not 1765, 1760. I will be the first to admit, I will be the first one to admit I screw up filing fees all the time. I don't know why. It's a mental block I got.
You don't screw it up when they come in, though.
No, but it's a mental block. I sometimes forget filing fees. 1,760.
And you just saved people $5.
And I just saved everyone $5. Okay.
Exactly. Shanice would also like to know, how long after the papers have been put in do you get your work permit?
It's supposed to be 90 days, but it's probably closer to 120.
Okay. And Kamisha would like to know, my sister and her husband are both illegal immigrants. Is there any way that they can get, and they are married to each other, obviously, is there any way they can get their green card? I know. I'm reading them. I know, Brad. I'm the messenger. I know. How do I get a green card? It's too vague.
This is the part where you explain how they can get a green card, Brad.
Yes. All right. So this is how you get a green card.
And do not be...
And be as specific as possible.
And do not be cynical.
Okay. I don't know the answer because, until I actually meet with them, there's so many different ways to get a green card. It's not just fill out a form. It's not... I'm here illegal, how do I get a green card? Requires a sit down with me or one of my attorneys to go through about 15, 20 minutes. The best example was the gentleman, if you remember, who was in the church. He's still there in the church. And he, if he called up on our show and said, hey, I've been ordered deported, I'm holed up in a church, what can I do? I would say, I don't know. Okay, but then we talked to him. It took us about 20 minutes. But after talking to him, we came up with a resolution for his problems. Okay, so it's I don't know until I talk to you for about 20 minutes.
All right.
We've got one more from Roseanne. Roseanne would like to know, my husband came to New York. We got married after 3 months. He did the interview for his green card on August 8th of this year. Up to now, we haven't received anything in the mail. Do you think that there's a problem, or do you think that he'll get through any day now?
You got married after 90 days. You filed after 90 days. And
yep, after 3 months they got married.
And you went for your interview in August 3rd, and you haven't heard. I don't know because I wasn't there on the interview. Generally, if 90, 120 days goes by and you haven't heard anything, then there's an issue. You're not at that 120-day mark yet, so I would wait the 120 days. August to September is 30, October is 60, November. Wait till the end of the year. Okay, I just did the math in my head. Wait till the end of the year, and by the end of the year, if you haven't heard anything, the number to call is 1-800-529-5465, and then we'll follow up and let you know whether you have a problem
Absolutely. 1-800-529-5465.
This is what happens when Patrice isn't here. All my equipment is like falling off of me in the middle of the show. All right, but I fixed it and answered the question at the same time.
It's very impressive.
I'm a multitasker. Social media guru. All right. Do we have any other questions?
We do indeed.
Okay.
Wyclef is back.
Wyclef Jean.
Wyclef, well, he says it's Wyclef. He says it's
Jean.
10,
Jean.
but...
Some people say Jean, some people say Jean.
Right. Some people say tomato, some people say tomato.
Yeah. But if you're saying it the French way, it's Jean. Right?
Jean.
Yeah.
Right.
Is it safe to travel with an advanced parole with a pending I-485 without any criminal convictions?
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui. Brad, you speak very good Français?
Yes. That's all I know. Oui, oui. All right. Yes, the answer is yes. You can do it.
Okay,
but
great.
don't travel more than 2 weeks out of the country. It's, Anything else, social media guru?
Yes, one more from Darshani. I'd like to know about filing a U visa as a victim of abuse. Can I be deported if I've been abused?
No, you cannot be deported if you are abused, even if you have an order of deportation. You are still entitled to a U visa, and if you've been abused by someone who you're married to, or someone who you believed you were married to but was in a bigamous marriage, you do a Violence Against Women's Act claim. Or even if you are a parent or a child, a parent can file, an adult son or daughter can abuse a parent, and a mother or father can abuse a young child. All of those would fall under VAWA, and it's unlimited. There's no limit on the number of VAWA applications that can be accepted and approved in 1 year. The U visa is for victims of crimes. It is much greater the number of things that you can do. You don't have to be related to the person to be assaulted or abused, but it could be other crimes, any other more serious crimes. U visas get you a visa. It doesn't get you a green card. And then after you get the U visa for 3 years, then you can apply for your green card. They only have 10,000 U visas a year. The backlog on U visas, because there's a lot of people who are the victims of crimes in America who are out of status. There's a lot more of them than there are Americans who are victims of crimes from people who are out of status, but Donald Trump likes to publicize that. I would love for him to actually publicize the 100,000 people who are backed up, or the 80,000 people who are literally backed up, who have approved U visa applications, who are the victims of very serious crimes perpetrated by Americans against somebody who is out of status. Yeah. I don't believe there are 80,000 American citizens who are victims, serious victims of crimes by illegal aliens, but it's what's publicized. So that's my public opinion of the day. But I don't really have public opinions of the day, but I gave one now. But
not your PC.
You have multiple.
What? No, it's not a.
You have multiple public opinions of the day.
Okay, that is my public opinion of the day. But if it's a marriage case, or you're the parent or the child, in all seriousness, you do a VAWA. Otherwise, you do a U visa.
Okay, I have two more. Can we speak?
Yes.
Roseanne would like to know, how do you go about doing an advanced parole while you're waiting for your green card?
I-131 application.
Or you call the law offices of Bernstein.
Or you call the law offices of Bernstein. Actually, a much smarter answer.
That's the reason I'm here.
That's why Squeeze is here.
Interject every
30
minutes.
And Andre would like to know if I file. Andre
is this the
would like to know if I file to get.
He's dead. a lot of dead people coming back for life today.
Brad and Squeeze show.
What's the question?
If I file to get the condition removed from my green card and I got an I-797 notice of action stating that my conditional resident status has been extended for a year, can I re-enter the USA with the I-797 notice of action, or do you need some other document to travel?
You re-enter with, you need 2 documents. Your expired green card, you need 3 documents. Valid passport, expired green card, and the I-797 extension. You travel with all 3, you're fine.
Perfect. We got them all.
There you have it. Social media check-in with the social media guru. Maybe Lucky and T-Bone next year at the Great Pumpkin Halloween Contest. We'll dress him up as social media guru.
You need to tell the people.
That would not be nice. No, we will not dress them up as you. You would love the doors to dress up as you.
I would love that. I would
with a microphone. With a microphone. All right. So social media guru. Keep watching for questions and comments on all of our social media pages. If we get a lot more questions and comments, we'll come back to you at the end of the show. How's that?
That sounds great.
All right, thank you. Social media guru, Squeeze.
Thank you so much for the rapid fire session, Ken.
Yes.
Let's get back to some calls right here on 93.5 WVIP and our social media platforms at David Squeeze Anarchy and Brad H. Bernstein.
You are no fun today. You are all business.
Of course, the law office
all
of the
business. You are all business today.
I am all business,
all
man.
business. You're like, I'm like social media. Call 1-800.
Let's go to South Carolina.
South Carolina. Who is this? This is, I can't read anymore. Daniela. Dahlia, how are you?
Hi, Dahlia.
I'm fine. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm a green card holder. I just recently got my green card by my son, and I have a boyfriend. I was wondering if I could sponsor him.
Yeah, but you can't sponsor a boyfriend. You can sponsor a husband. So go back, marry the man, file for him. He'll be here in about 18 to 20 months.
He's here in America. That's why I was asking if it's a problem.
Marry him here in America. Is he out of status?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so you're going to marry him. You're going to file an I-130 visa petition for him. And then ultimately, you're going to need to do a provisional waiver because you just got your green card. You're not going to wait on your citizenship for 5 more years. So ultimately,
I get a 10-year.
That's great. You still have 5 years to go before you can become a citizen. So you're not going to wait 5 years to become a citizen to go marry him and file for him. You're going to marry him now. You're going to file for him now. In about 18 months, he's going to do a provisional waiver. Well, I don't know what country he's from, if he's Jamaican or...
He's Jamaican.
Jamaican, then he would go back to Jamaica with the provisional waiver and be back with his green card in about 2 weeks. That's the process.
Okay. I need your number.
Okay.
I think I would use you guys.
Okay, now this is the great thing.
Don't think. Use them.
This is the great thing, okay? The number that you called on the radio and on our show right now, which is 1-800-529-5465, it's the number to my law office.
Same one.
Same number.
Right.
You got it already.
All right.
You got the number.
And one question more. When I file for him, would he be able to work here?
No.
Oh.
No. He's on his way to getting a green card, but he cannot work.
Yeah, but hold the line though.
No.
Yeah.
What, Squeeze has a question. Wait 1 second. Okay, now that you've asked all us questions, Squeeze has a question for you.
I just wanted to say, don't hang up the phone. Stay on the line so we can set this up for you to get this going.
Squeeze has a statement for you. It was not a question. Hold on 1 second. All right, so she's going to hold on.
All right, let's go to Zena. She's in Atlanta, Georgia, and she called. Okay. 1-800-529-5465.
Xena, warrior princess.
Hello.
Xena, you are not the Xena, warrior princess, are you?
No, I'm
You are
not.
not.
And I wish the two of you would stop fighting.
We're not fighting.
Why is Squeeze upset? You keep reminding him to be nice. He's a normally nice guy.
He is a nice guy.
That's just Brad. That's just Brad. He can't help himself.
Because I'm going to tell you something.
That's just his nature.
I'm going to tell you something, Xena. Okay, while we were off in, doing the criminal law man in the street, I turned to Squeeze and I said, "You in a good mood today?" And he said,
I'm happy.
"You're happy."
Yes.
I said, "You don't seem it."
What?
I don't know.
Because I'm all about business?
Yes.
Yeah, no lollygagging.
He didn't want to joke around with me today, Xena, so I know something's eating him.
Well, let's leave him alone.
Leave him alone.
We get snappy.
Okay, he's going to get snappy with me, okay?
Love you guys anyway.
All right,
Just
what's
a
up?
quick question. I sponsored my sister in 2002. Her documents are coming through online. However, it was my email that they're using, sending everything through. I signed up there as petitioner, paid the fees for the visa and all of that. Question is, does she have to sign that application online, or do I do it?
For the national...
The DS 260.
She would be signing it.
So she has to fill that out?
Yes.
Online?
Yes.
Okay. You guys have a great day, and
Thank you
so much, Zena.
Smile. Love you guys.
All
Bye-bye.
right, thank you, Xena.
All right, Zena put a smile on my face.
Put a smile on your face. All right, let's go.
Let's go to
Paul in
Brooklyn. Paul, thanks so much for calling.
Hello.
Hi, Paul.
How you doing?
What's
We're
up?
good.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
A friend of mine went to do her citizenship recently, about 2-3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And when she was there, the immigration officer made an announcement that if anyone has an outstanding ticket, they should let him know now. Because if they have tickets, he won't be able to swear them in. So she had a ticket that she was contesting, some turning violation ticket.
Mm-hmm.
That she didn't signal to make the turn. And she said she did signal, so she was contesting it. And he said he can't swear her in.
That's BS. That's BS. There's no law that says because you made an illegal right-hand turn, you can't become a citizen. There's no law that says because you're not a good driver, you can't become a citizen of the United States. So now, maybe they couldn't swear her in because she said, yes, I have this outstanding ticket, and the officer said, show me what you've got, and she didn't have it. She had nothing to show. So because she had nothing to show the man, they said, well, we can't make you a citizen because you have this outstanding ticket and we don't know what it's about because you didn't bring it in. So that's my guess of what happened. So, for not only for her, but for everybody, if between your citizenship interview and your swearing in, if you get a speeding ticket or rolling through the stop sign ticket, bring proof of what's going on with it. And that way, here it is. It's like bringing a disposition. It's still pending. It's a stop sign. It's I rolled through a red light. Whatever it is, they'll make you a citizen. My guess is she didn't have anything to document what it was.
And he further said to her that it's a sworn officer that gave her the ticket. So
a sworn officer?
A sworn. He's to take an oath. A sworn officer.
A truant? A sworn officer? Well, it's mostly officers. It's police officers who give speeding tickets. Exactly what it is. But I think maybe she should come in and see us. All right, because that shouldn't happen like that.
I'm gonna have her call you.
Okay, great.
1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. Let's stay in Brooklyn and go to Tonil in Brooklyn.
All right.
Call 1-800-529-5465. Tonil, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Sorry about the wait. Go ahead.
My question is, a couple of years ago, I got married and didn't show up at the end when it was the interview. Me and my husband, we didn't make it for circumstances in our control. So I got a deportation letter in the mail. So fast forward to 2017, I got married again, and I'm looking to file adjustment of status. Would that be a problem?
Yeah, getting a deportation letter in the mail is a problem. Did you show up to your deportation hearing?
No.
How long ago did this happen?
That was like 2012.
You never got a hearing? How do you know you got a deportation notice in the mail but never got a hearing date?
They didn't give me a date on it.
They didn't give you a date on it. All right.
No.
This is what I would do if I were you. It is possible, most likely, not 100%, but most likely, you did get a date and didn't know about it. And if you got a date and didn't know about it, right now you are living in the United States with an order of deportation and warrant out for your arrest. Right. If you were to file papers for your green card, because you've got remarried now you didn't commit a crime, I assume. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, all you did is you're out of status and you're showing up with a smile on your face with this loving husband who comes in. They're going to throw handcuffs on you and throw you in jail and try to deport you. It's not really what